Hi, it's Wayne O'Keefe and I'm fishing the Goulburn River in Shepparton. It's very cold this morning, only about 5 degrees, so my chances of catching fish are pretty slim, unfortunately, but I'm here. I mean, I had a chance to go fishing, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've got 2 rods in, one with a heavier line on, one with lighter line, because, you know, I'm expecting potentially I could catch something of a reasonable size, or there might be only small fish about today. Or there might be none at all, which is the challenge, of course, and so I always like to try and catch something, so I'll mix things up a little bit so I can do that. But I have to admit that temperatures this low, our natives, even the carp, don't like it. They're not active for much of the day. They will only feed for short periods at specific times, so you've got to do everything you can to get them into the area so that when they are ready to feed, okay, they're around your bait. So that's what I'll be doing today, and we'll just see how we go with that. Wow, you've got to be really accurate here. There is so much rubbish on the bottom, you know, bits of broken branch and leaves, especially the branches and things that have moved since last time I fished, that there's a couple of little dips that I like to fish into, and now there seems to be a snag right in the middle of one of them. I found some spots out there, but I can't be more than say 60 centimeters either side of where I'm going to land my tackle, otherwise it gets snagged up. It is a good spot because it's a bit of a dip, food will gather there, but the accuracy is really important. So this is where your casting accuracy really counts a great deal. If I keep hitting the same spot, I know that I'll be able to attract the fish in. But if I spread it around a bit, if my casting's not accurate, I'm going to lose into those snags again. So I've tied up a couple of times. I've learnt my lesson. Now I'm going to be really accurate and really focus on what I'm doing. I'm getting really small bites, and I know they're not yabbies because they're lightning fast. Yabbies tend to take your bait, they crawl backwards with it, and when they feel the tension of the line, they sort of flick away. They try to sort of swim away, and that flicking action, normally you'll see the line sort of hitting a couple of times. Here with these, it's a very fast tink and gone. Now that would be, I'm sure, here because of the number of silver perch that I have caught. I'm sure it's what they are. And the thing is that these things are pretty small, like they're only about the size of your hand, so it's not really my target, although my target today is pretty much anything I can catch. But I've got bigger hooks because I was hoping for something bigger. If it is these small silver perch, the only way I'm going to find out is by changing down to a very small hook. Now last time I caught quite a few. I got down to a size 14 hook, which is very small. But that was the only way to hook them because they've got such small mouths. Hopefully I'll catch something bigger than that, but I might have to transition a little bit later to come right down in hook size to get that. Now the other thing that I'm doing is I'm leaving a bit of a bow in my line because there's virtually no wind today, which is good. What I can do is I can sort of sit to the side and I can see that bow in the line. Now when that bow tightens up, I know that there's activity happening. These rods are graphite rods, they're quite stiff. They're not a quiver tip rod, and while the tip is quite sensitive and will bend when you get those little hits, the most sensitive bites, and that's what's happening today with some of these silver perch, all they're doing is straightening out that line. So I know there's activity happening simply because I've got the bow there. So it's a little point you can use on those days when it's really calm and you can see the line quite clearly. At least that's an indicator that there's activity. I like to know that I've got some activity happening. I've got burley cages. I'm using my burley cages today, as I always do. I've got some burley in the area now. I'm not feeding too much burley in there, and there is no food whatsoever in that burley. So it's only an attractant. When they get there, the only thing they're going to find to eat is my bait. Because with this colder weather, they're not going to be feeding heavily, but I do need something to attract them. So I'll keep doing this, and I might have to go down to smaller hook sizes.
Well, sorry, I couldn't start filming this until I actually got it in closer. So after about an hour of mucking around, finally got a small carp. Anyway, it was good to catch something today, just simply because it was really tough. I had to change what I was doing many times, but anyway, we got one in. After quite a bit of effort, finally I got a fish in. Now it's only a carp, but my goodness, I'm glad to catch something today. I've tried so many different things, and a lot of the stuff really wasn't working. I had to go down in hook size, try different baits. So this one was on worms again, but I tried cheese, I tried bread, I tried corn and worms, and I'd gone back through all of those, back to worms, and then I got this one. So finally I'm feeling pretty good about that, and I might have to leave soon, but it's always nice to go fishing and hook a fish. After all, that's the objective for me anyway. So look, it's just about changing things until you actually find something that works. Well, the wind has come up and the temperature's dropped even more, so it's getting a little bit too cold to continue fishing. I've caught a fish, I've got some bites, I'm satisfied, and for me, going out fishing, I just need to catch fish. So, and if it's really tough, I don't mind it so much, because it's more about working out how to hook them. But if for beginners, if you would like to learn how to catch fish, most of the time you go out, the techniques you use, how to set up your baits, how to get the fish really driving to find your bait. Or if you want to know about the burley cages, or the burley, or the gear that I'm using, go to my website, howtofish.com.au.